Hey everyone, in this video we're taking a look at the Master Grade Hyaku Shiki 2.0. This kit has been a long time coming. As part of my mission to complete the Zeta Gundam team, I started with the Gundam Mark II. Then after a long break, finally got around to the Zeta 2.0. And now the first kit I picked up this year, the Hyaku Shiki 2.0. So let's jump into the review. First up, the box art. The Hyaku Shiki is in a pretty basic pose, but what caught my eye are the background mobile suits. You've got a Zeta Gundam down here and a DJ off to the right. I'm hoping Bandai brings back the RE100 DJ. Definitely something I'd add to my collection. This kit originally came out in 2015, so it's about a decade old now. The top and bottom of the box just repeat the cropped cover image. One side of the box shows the completed build, some gimmicks, weapons, pilot figures, we'll get into those later, and the note about compatibility with sold separately accessory. It's some kind of cannon or bazooka. And then this other side of the box shows off the articulation and some cool moving armor panels. Right off the bat, when you open the box, you just see the nice gold-plated runners. We have some gray inner frame parts, and looking closer, we have some stickers for the eyes and sensors, even some dry transfer decals. And of course, we got a manual. I'm really excited to build this thing, so I'm gonna put this together and see you when it's done. So, my first impressions of this kit. For a master grade, this doesn't really have a lot of runners. So I'm thinking this is gonna be pretty short. And when you look closely, the inner frame parts aren't all that intricate as well. They're pretty simple. And the colors that they use are pretty nice. I like this really dark red. I also like the navy that they used for the chest parts. Even the gray that they used for the inner frame and the weapons have this metallic sheen to them, even though they're not metallic plated like the outer armor. I'm keeping the gold runners in the plastics first before I cut out the pieces because I don't want to scratch them up. It also comes with a bunch of stickers and dry transfer decals. I might just use the decals, not the stickers. What I didn't expect and I'm not looking forward to are these polycaps, because I have this Gundam 3.0 and the ankles and the ankle joint on that kit has polycap, and it's just gotten pretty loose over time. This seems like it's gonna be a really chill build, but because of the colors and the gold plating, I really think the final product's gonna be very satisfying. Building this kit was pretty straightforward. There aren't too many runners and the inner frame doesn't have a lot of tiny parts. That means less fiddling around with tiny plastic bits and less cleanup with your knife or sandpaper. The inner frame uses a softer polystyrene plastic, which is nice. It's easier to cut compared to ABS, which can be tough on your hands after a while. So overall, it's a beginner-friendly build with low difficulty and forgiving materials. That said, there are a few things that I'm not a fan of. Some joints, like the shoulders, hips, ankles, use polycaps. I'm guessing they work better with the softer plastic, but in my experience with older master grades, polycaps tend to loosen over time. We'll see how well it holds up. Another issue I found are the nubs. This kit features gold-plated armor, and surface nubs really hurt the look of that finish. Thankfully, a lot of the parts are undergated, so many nubs are hidden, but some are still placed on visible areas. They tried to make them discreet so you won't really see them all that much. From a normal viewing distance, they're not too noticeable, but if you built it yourself, you'll definitely remember where they are and see them. You can fix this with a gold Real Touch marker. I think it's actually a perfect match. It's so close to the gold plating color. I also added some dry transfer decals, pretty easy to apply. I used tape to line them up, and I think they look good overall. That said, some have noticeable outlines, so if that bugs you, you might want to skip them. As for accessories, there's not a ton included, but you get the essentials. For weapons, it comes with a beam rifle, 2 beam sabers, and 1 clay bazooka. I know this is the actual design of the kit, but it made me miss having a shield. Extras include an action-based adapter, and pretty cool bonus, you also get 4 pilot figures, 2 seated and 2 standing. Great if you're into painting miniatures or adding some extra detail to your display. Now let's talk aesthetics. The star of the show is without question the gold plating. I'm a big fan of this paler shade. When gold gets too yellow, it starts to look like cheap or obnoxious jewelry to me. If this kit had the overly shiny, saturated finish, I'd probably hate looking at it. But here, the tone is just right, clean, sleek, and easy on the eyes. There are also some nice contrast elements to keep it from being a solid block of gold. The maroon piping and thruster details add depth, and the silver plastic parts, like those in the ankles and wing binders, breaks things up nicely. It gives the whole kit a more dynamic, layered feel. As for proportions, it's a bit slimmer than how the Hyaku Shiki looked in the anime, I think. Personally, I don't mind it, it still looks great. But if on-screen accuracy is important to you, it's something to consider. Here's the Hyaku Shiki 2.0 lined up with a few others from my collection. The RX-78-2 3.0, the Gundam Mark II, the Zeta Gundam 2.0, my custom painted RX-78-2, and my latest review, the Plyobot Gurren Lagann. That one's actually being reissued right now and should be available on HobbyLink Japan, so if you're interested, this might be a good time to grab it. The articulation of the Hyaku Shiki 2.0 is pretty cool. I didn't notice any annoying restrictions, so let's get through them. The head can go this far up and this far down, so a lot more going down. It's on a ball joint and a hinge, so it goes all the way around. The shoulders are pretty interesting. They can go out this much on a hinge, and they can also rotate at that ball area to go up like this. And then the shoulder armor is snapped on separately from the arm. It can also hinge up like this. There's this flap on the shoulder armor that can go down and up like this. Not so much, but it can move around. The shoulder itself can make the arm go up all the way like this, so not bad. It's on a peg, so it can swivel here. Double jointed elbow can bring the elbow bend this far in, so pretty cool. The wrist is on a ball joint, so that's what you get here. The fingers are the 3-finger and trigger finger split. They have 1 joint each, so they can fold the fingers like so. And then the thumb is just on a ball joint. There's a tab in the hand that can flip out to attach the weapons securely. You can do a lot of poses with the hands and close them into a fist if you want them to. Torso articulation, you can get it this far bent back. Not so much, but the chest is out. And then you can kind of bend it forward, not really a lot. The hips here are actually pretty interesting. So apart from the actual just joint of the torso to the hips, there's this rocking mechanism that can make it bend side to side like this. There's also enough movement at the base of the torso to make it move side to side without that rocking mechanism. So you can get a lot of poses with this torso. We have the side skirts on a ball joint here, but you can only actually just flap it out like so. Front skirts, classic double ball joint here. The back skirt can hinge backwards like this, gives a bit more movement to the legs. With the skirts out of the way, can go this far back, actually really good. With the front skirt out of the way, this far forward, also pretty good. But it also has this mechanism that drops down like so, that allows you to bend the leg upward a lot more like this. It's a bit towards the outside if you really wanted to pull off a pose with the legs that far out. It's definitely doable. This kit actually has a gimmick of the development in its lore. It's developed from the Delta Gundam, I think, which is a prototype transforming mobile suit that they never really got to manufacture. It kinda has that knee bend forward that you can see from the Zeta Gundam, which is pretty cool. It doesn't really do or look like anything, but totally unnecessary, but it's pretty cool. You have this nice double bend for the knee. It's a full bend here. You can also see the moving knee armor. Kinda moves in isolation. Nice armor separation for that. And then for the ankles, you can actually see that there's like hydraulics involved. You can move the ankle down like that with one of the joints, up and down, pretty good. And then there's another joint into the foot that makes it bend down even more. And if you want to bend it up, you can also bend the toe down this much. I don't really use that for anything, but it's there, so if you like that for your model kits, you have that option. You also have these flaps at the back of the leg. We have this flap here. It can go up this far. Not a lot, but it's kind of satisfying to do. You also have this flap by the calf section. You just flap it up like this. So both of them open, look like that. This is what it looks like closed, and this is what it looks like open. Not a ton of difference, but pretty cool that it's there. Moving to the backpack, there's a lot of places to move. First, the thrusters here can swivel a bit up and down. We have this swivel over here for the wing binders that can make them go forward and back this much. And then there's also a peg there that allows it to twist and swivel like this. And then there's another point for swiveling the wing binders like this. And another one here on the wing binder itself to make it go up and down, in and out, like so. And it also folds up like so. So it's pretty dynamic. You can definitely do a lot with the articulation given by this kit. Overall, the Master Grade Hyaku Shiki 2.0 is a solid addition to any collection, especially if you're building out the Zeta Gundam lineup like I am. The build is approachable, the articulation is impressive, and I think the finished product would look great on any shelf. The gold plating is handled well, with just the right tone, and the design has enough contrast to keep things visually interesting. Sure, the polycaps and visible nubs on a few parts are minor drawbacks, but nothing deal-breaking. Honestly, even if you don't paint over the nub marks, you still won't really notice them. If you're a fan of the Hyaku Shiki, this version is definitely worth picking up. It looks good, it's fun to pose, and has a strong shelf presence. Whether you're a long-time builder or just starting out, I think you'll enjoy putting this one together. If you've built this kit or have thoughts on it, let me know in the comments. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more builds and reviews. See you in the next one.